the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Here.
Councilman McCarthy.
Here.
Councilwoman Noack.
Here.
Councilwoman Inzarella. Here. Councilman Lohman.
Okay, before we begin the board meeting today, we have some Parks Department employees here. We're going to recognize their public service. Once a month, we begin a town board meeting by honoring an employee whose dedication, talent, and character have made a meaningful impact on the community. Today, it is my privilege to recognize Smithtown Parks Department groundskeeper Bob Zidane and laborer Jake Barrett. On February 2nd, during a severe winter weather snowstorm, an older resident fell near the street and was unable to get up. While his wife was unable to assist him, fortunately, a Parks Department vehicle observed the situation and immediately pulled over without hesitation. Bob Zidane and Jake Barrett sprang into action, assisting the gentleman to his feet and ensuring he returned safely to his home. Mr. Zidane, groundskeeper 2, who has proudly served since 2010, and Mr. Barrett, a laborer who joined the town in 2023. Both work under the supervision of Marcel Calais, town maintenance crew leader, caring for the grounds at all the town facilities with dedication and pride. Their quick response and willingness to help a resident in need reflect the same care and commitment they bring to their daily responsibilities. Their actions exemplify professionalism, teamwork, and a genuine concern for the well-being of our community. On behalf of the town board and the entire Smithtown community, thank you for being a shining example of what public service is all about. Gentlemen, congratulations. Councilwoman Inzarella has certificates for you two gentlemen. Great work, and keep up the good work for us.
Zidane. Take the back from it. They might be stuck in the back. Well, you know what, we'll give it to them after the. Jake Barrett.
I don't see them. They're not here. I don't see them.
They might be in the
You
back.
all?
We'll give it to them at the end.
Okay. Okay, very good. Congratulations to both of those gentlemen. Nice work. Before we begin, if I may, how many folks are here, which I believe there are quite a few, in regard to the tax exemptions that were passed by the state of New York? Almost the whole crowd. So let me explain what we're going to do before we start. On the agenda today, you'll see a public hearing, which will be presented by one of our assistant town attorneys. She's going to explain the local law that we have to produce to make these exemptions eligible to you folks that are here and anybody else that is eligible for them. So our intention today, this board, is to hear the public hearing, close the hearing, and adopt the local laws, which gives everybody the right then to access to these tax exemptions if you're eligible. There is a deadline, March 1st. I don't know how concrete that date is. I know it's short notice. That's why we're going to adopt this local law today. So we have time for you folks to apply. Mr. Decoro, our tax assessor, will stay after the meeting for any questions or anything you have on how you proceed to do that. We have our attorneys here as well, and they can explain the procedures on how you go forth and get your request in and make your applications before the deadline. And if there's any extensions, I think Mr. Decoro will be able to help you with that. So that's the intent of how we're going to do this today. Once we vote on that local law after the public hearing, that makes everybody eligible for all of the exemptions that were sent down by New York State. And we're, on behalf of the board, I can tell you we're very pleased that we had the opportunity to do it for everybody that's eligible. And I wish you all well, and we'll try and get you through all the application process so you can get that tax exemption, which is extremely important to all you folks I know. All right? Okay, very good. So we'll start with site plan. We have two site plans. Mr. Trot.
Good afternoon, Supervisor, members of the Town Board. I'm Liam Trotta with the Planning Department, and I have 2 site plans to present this afternoon to the Board, acting as the Board of Site Plan Review. The first application is called Mason Technologies. The subject site is located on Oster Avenue in the Hauppauge Industrial Park, and the proposal is for the construction of a new 89,320 square foot 2-story building for warehouse and office use with associated site work. Now, just a little over a year ago, the board approved the new building for the same subject site. The building was much bigger. It was about 103,000 square feet. Since that time, the property sold. A new owner purchased it, and they're looking to build a new building for their tech company. They do audiovisual, cabling, data centers, things like that. So this will be their new headquarters. There's going to be offices. Their main offices are going to be located on the west side of the building, with the eastern portion of the building for their warehouse and distribution area. There'll be loading docks on the east elevation as well. And the parking for all employees and customers will be primarily along the west side, again, right next to their offices. And all the truck deliveries and maneuverability will be on the east side of the site. This is the proposed elevations of the building. And the applicant has agreed to 5 conditions of site plan approval. The first condition is that they obtain applicable permits from the town building department. The second condition is that they install a tree preservation fence around all trees to be preserved on site, which they actually already have done. The third condition is that the applicant obtain a road opening permit from the town highway department. The fourth condition is that the stormwater pollution prevention plan be maintained on site during the duration of construction. And the last condition is that landscape modifications, including placement of specific trees, be undertaken at the direction of the planning department. Does the board have any questions on this proposal? Okay.
Okay.
The next application is Insignia Steakhouse. Subject site's located on the northeast corner of State Route 347 and Mount Pleasant Road, Smithtown. And the proposal is for the construction of 3,308 square feet of building additions, including a new solarium, a building addition enclosing an existing outdoor dining area, freezer boxes, a utility closet, and an enclosed walkway. There are also patio modifications and associated site work. So the main additions are going to be going off like the northeastern side of the building. There'll be a full building addition where my mouse is over here, and then on the outside will be a new solarium. And it's going to look very similar to the one that was La Familia did. Yes. So then this is a rendering of the proposed addition. Another angle. And some other elevation plans. The applicant has agreed to 4 conditions of site plan approval. The first condition is that they obtain applicable permits from the building department. The second condition is that all outdoor storage on site shall be removed per the conditions of approval of Board of Zoning Appeals case 19391. The third condition is that the amended conditions of zone change petition case number 2024-01 shall remain in effect. And the last condition is that the planting along the perimeter of the restored patio shall be 6-foot-tall evergreens. Board, have any questions on this application?
Question by the board. Okay, Mr.
That
Trotta,
concludes.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
These site plans will be voted on at the conclusion of the agenda. I would also like to welcome our Suffolk County Legislator, Mr. Formica. Welcome to our board meeting today. Thank you for being here. We will convene as Board of Water Commissioners.
Minutes approval, February 3rd, 2026. Promotion of Daniel Cerquera to the position of Maintenance Mechanic 1 in the St. James Water District, and the award of bid 26001 for Plymouth Estates Water Main to Banker Construction Corp., and further authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement on a form approved by the town attorney.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes. Reconvene as town board.
For correspondence, St. James Smithtown Little League Opening Day Parade, March 28, 2026, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Brotherhood for the Fallen 5K 10K Fun Run, July 11th, 2026, 8 a.m., 11 a.m. Building Department, January 2026 report. Nesconset Athletic Association Opening Day Parade, April 18, 2026, 8:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. There's one public hearing today to be presented by Rachel Lenberger.
Good afternoon, Supervisor and members of the board. The purpose of this public hearing is to consider amendments to Chapter 256 as it relates to exemptions. The first proposed exemption applies to individuals aged 65 and over. Qualifying seniors could receive up to a 65% reduction in the assessed value of their property for town tax purposes. Applications require proof of income and must be submitted to the town assessor. This amendment raises the exemption deduction levels, thereby allowing more seniors living on fixed incomes to qualify or receive greater relief. The second proposed exemption would provide a full exemption from town property taxes for veterans who have a 100% service-related disability. A qualifying veteran whose home is their primary residence would receive a 100% real property exemption, including special district charges and assessments. To qualify, documentation of a full disability is required, and the veteran must be deemed 100% disabled and individually unemployable by the VA. The third proposed exemption applies to active duty service members. Qualifying individuals must be currently serving in the military, have a permanent duty station that is in New York State, and were deployed to a combat zone during the taxable year. Such individuals may qualify for a property tax exemption of up to 25% of the home's assessed value. The exemption is capped at $20,000 of assessed value, or an equal value of equalized assessed value as determined pursuant to state law. This exemption applies to town taxes only and must be reapplied for each year. The last proposed exemption would provide relief to surviving spouses of police officers who were killed in the line of duty. If the surviving spouse owns and resides in the home as their primary residence, this exemption would reduce town property taxes by 50%. Unless there are any questions, that concludes this public hearing.
Any questions by the board? Okay, does anyone in the audience want to be heard on this public hearing other than staying at the conclusion, and we'll have the tax assessor and the attorneys here to answer questions? Sir?
Can I go up there, or?
You can, yes. You have 3 minutes. When you hear the tone, you have 1 minute to complete your statement.
My name is
Please state
Klaus
your name and
Johnson.
address for the record.
Okay. My name is Klaus Johnson. I reside 106 Fulton Boulevard, Comac. And that's it. Basically, my concern is this. I'm currently getting about the maximum I could possibly get from the town on the veterans exemption. I am unemployable. I am totally and permanently disabled. And basically, I'm getting paid by the Veterans Administration at 100% rate, okay? When this bill was written up, it says you had to be combined service-connected evaluation of 100%. I'm 90%, okay? But I am totally unemployable, getting paid at the 100% rate. That was totally excluded from this particular bill. Now, for example, I have a residence down in the Jersey Shore too, in Cape May County. That is not my primary residence. They have a very similar bill to this one. And basically, what they do, same thing, 100% disabled from the VA, unemployable, and totally, what does it say? Permanently disabled as a result of the service connection. What they did there, to clarify it, they included unemployability in that 100% rating. The New York state law doesn't include that. As a unemployability, you get 100%, but we are not subject to the service-connected evaluation of 100%. I'm 90, okay? I won't lose anything based upon me having this new bill.
1 minute remaining, sir.
Okay, 1 billion remain. Anyway, the point I'm trying to say is that the law itself, the verbiage wasn't, in my opinion, correct. I don't think they really understand the sequence involved in actually writing it up, okay? I'm not a lawyer, and so I don't know, but I do know fairness. Unemployability, you get paid at 100%. Not 100% evaluation. In my particular case, it's 90%. Okay, but I'm paid on 100% rate based upon unemployability. And that's basically all I have to say. Question?
I would recommend, as you know, we're eligible to accept this law, but the law was written by the state of New York.
Yeah, I know.
So what I would recommend is contact Senator Matera's office or Assemblyman Michael Fitzpatrick, because those are your two state representatives. We could supply you with their phone numbers. I would bring that issue up with them, because that's where the law was written.
Yeah, right, I realize that. And again, thank you for the time. And I do feel that, you know, in Cape May County, they did the right thing. They clarified it. Here it's not really clarified.
Thank you
Okay,
very much.
thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Greg Bernhardt. I live at 12 Tall Tree Lane, Smithtown. Ladies and gentlemen, council members, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for considering this bill. I was in the Marine Corps from 1989 to 1993. I served in the original Persian Gulf War, and I was behind the Navy SEALs in Somalia, the first one in. You're welcome. It's my pleasure to serve. We all know that taxes are increased every year overall due to people coming in from the city and everywhere else, school taxes, everything. They're always increasing. However, there are not that many veterans overall in the town of Smithtown, and there are that many less that have 100% disability rating right now. So this is why I would humbly and respectfully request that you strongly consider passing the 100% veterans bill to let them give veterans a break that have 100% disability for the 10% tax break for the town. However, as well, due to the nature of combat and military service, there will be more veterans that have 100%, ultimately end up developing that 100% disability due to the nature of combat and military service. Issues like burn pits and terror pit exposures. There are going to be men and women that you see now who are having families that are young, that down the road are going to have issues, and while they will not lose their families and their children, they will end up losing their jobs, or when they retire from that first job and look to hustle that second job, when they realize, like me, that the grass is not greener and they still need to have an income, these issues that are hiding in their bodies are going to develop. So,
1 minute remaining, sir.
thank you. While some of these issues are not present now, they will be later, and some of these issues are non-visible wounds and scars that are not of the body and of the mind. So, I would respectfully again request that you strongly consider this bill. It will not affect a lot of people, while others may say it's not fair. Is it fair that you serve your country and one day soon thereafter or later you end up with 100% disability and you can't take care of your family and yourself?
Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
I would recommend as well that you contact Senator Matera or Assemblyman Fitzpatrick's office, because that's where these bills are written. We're here today. We're going to adopt the laws that they sent down. So you make some valiant points. I'm a veteran as well. I would suggest talking to them for the future, these future veterans, so that they know up in Albany, if they have to make amendments to these bills, they do so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Brian Pasella, 4 Fireplace Drive, Kings Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, my story of my service didn't start in Iraq. It started on September 11, 2001, when my dad was in one of the towers. That attack changed everything for our family. Less than a month later, I enlisted in the Army as a military police officer, driven by a sense of duty to protect the country that had been attacked. 2 years in Iraq followed. I patrolled Route Arish, the deadliest road in Baghdad, and the Sunni Triangle, which they called the Triangle of Death, where every mile was your last. I came home with wounds that will never heal. Today I stand before you as 100%. For my brothers and sisters who paid in blood, fighting in the wars alongside me, we should not pay again at tax time. Combat veterans like myself gave up their health, their time and family and years of their lives so the rest of us can live in freedom. We're not looking for handout. It's a promise kept. And I ask you today, please pass this tax exemption. Honor their sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Anyone else wish to speak on this public hearing?
Supervisor, I
they're
have
being-
some cards.
excuse me?
I have some cards that say tax exemptions for the speakers.
Okay, we can take those afterwards, right?
Okay.
On this public hearing that we just heard, is there anyone else that wishes to speak? Okay, that being, that there are no more speakers, I will move to close the hearing.
Supervisor Lehan.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ingerello.
I'm sorry. She was trying to get your attention when you,
Okay.
Okay.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Walsh. I live at 1 Morris Court in Smithtown. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I am a middle school teacher on Long Island. I'm a reading specialist. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today about the proposed property exemptions. I want to start by saying that I have respect for our seniors, disabled veterans, active duty service members in combat zones, and the surviving spouses of fallen law enforcement officers. They have given a great deal to our community, and I understand the desire to offer relief. At the same time, I am very concerned about the financial burden of these exemptions, how they are shifted onto other residents who do not qualify, but who are also struggling with high taxes and rising costs. Many working families, including my own, are on tight budgets. Even small increases in property taxes can have a real impact. I do not oppose helping people in need, but I believe that any significant tax relief should be tied to income. So that support is targeted to residents who truly cannot afford the current burden, regardless of age or status. I respectfully ask the board to provide in plain language a transparent breakdown of the expected impact of these changes on non-exempt homeowners, specifically what is the estimated increase in the average town portion of the tax bill for residents who do not qualify for these exemptions, and how many households are projected to be affected. I also urge you to prioritize income-based criteria so that relief is focused on most in need rather than broad categories that may include residents with very different financial situations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll attempt to get that type of information you're looking for from the town assessor when he's available to provide that. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name and address
afternoon.
for the record.
My name is Anita Castorina, 3 Spruce Street, Smithtown. I wasn't sure if this was my slot. However, I just want to say to the board, you cried poverty before the last election and pointed fingers
Hold on,
as,
excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
If you're speaking right now, you have to speak to this public hearing.
yeah,
If you want this public hearing on tax exemptions,
yes,
okay?
taxes in general plus exemptions, yes. The need to raise our taxes by 10% and pierce the 2% cap as,
Ma'am, excuse me. I
yeah,
don't mean to interrupt you.
I'm sorry.
You're talking about something totally different. This is only to speak on this public hearing about the New York State sending down to the town the ability to give these tax exemptions.
Right.
I think what you're looking to talk about, you could do after the agenda is done.
And you'll still be open to
Yes,
hear
we
me?
will. Yes.
Oh,
After
okay.
the agenda, you'll be able to speak.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if this was
Yeah,
my
it'll
slot.
be
Thank
After
you.
we're finished, then you can go on and speak.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay. Once again, I'm gonna reiterate, Mr. Clerk, to close the hearing.
Supervisor Warehead.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nook.
Yes.
Councilwoman Izzarello.
Yes.
Councilman Loman.
Yes. I will make a motion to adopt these tax exempt laws.
Second.
Supervisor Warehead.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nook.
Yes.
Councilwoman Izzarello.
Yes.
Councilman Loman.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those laws have been passed. We will remain here after the agenda. We have, again, our tax assessor and our attorneys here to answer any questions you might have, so thank you very much for your patience. Okay, Deputy Clerk.
For advertise for public hearing, authorize the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to be held at Town Hall, March 3rd, 2026, 2 p.m., to consider proposed amendments to Chapter 101 of the Town Code entitled Department of Parks, Buildings, and Grounds with regard to parking permit registrations. Authorize the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to be held at Town Hall, March 19, 2026, 2 p.m., to consider proposed local law 4, 2026, amendments to Traffic Code 4-2 with regard to parking permit registrations, and authorize the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to be held at Town Hall, March 19, 2026, 2 p.m., to consider proposed local law 5, 2026, amendments to Traffic Code 5-1 with regard to truck exclusions.
Councilman Loman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Izzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nook.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Warehead.
Yes.
For consent agenda, minutes approval, February 3rd, 2026, comptroller items 1 through 8, and resolutions 1 through 5 as they appear on the agenda.
Anyone on the council wish to remove any resolutions from the consent agenda?
No.
Mr. Clerk?
Councilman Loman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Izzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nook.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Warehead.
Yes.
Town Board to issue a SECRA negative declaration determination in the matter of the application for site plan approval by Triple J&A Holdings for Mason Technologies, Hauppauge, and in the matter of the application for site plan approval by Boulder Smithtown for Insignia Steakhouse Smithtown, both for reasons stated in memorandums from David A. Barnes.
Councilman Loman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Izzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nook.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Warehead.
Yes.
Authorize the town clerk to advertise for bid 26016 black polyethylene bags and bid 26018 bamboo removal and drainage improvements to town property between 116 and 118 Oakside Drive, Smithtown.
Councilman Loman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Izzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nook.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Warehead.
Yes.
Town Board to award request for proposal 26003 for parking violation software and related services to Fundamental Business Service, and further authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement on a form approved by the town attorney.
Councilman Loman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Izzarello.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nook.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Warehead.
Yes.
Town Board to approve the following: rescind Resolution 2025-1243, item ID 3550, adopted by the Town Board on December 18, 2025. Reappointment of Kenneth G. Dolan as a member of the Board of Assessment. Authorize the Engineering Department and the Department of Environment and Waterways to prepare plans and all requisite permit application materials, and further authorize the supervisor to sign all such materials as may be required in order to obtain a New York State DEC permit to conduct the repair of drainage structures along Gardner Road in Smithtown. Authorize personnel from the New York State DEC Division of Fish and Wildlife to have access to Town of Smithtown property at Hunts Ponds for the purpose of monitoring wildlife, subject to the signing of a hold harmless agreement on a form approved by the town attorney. Extension of bid 24093 for road marking materials with Ennis Flint Inc. and Preform LLC. Extension of bid 24055 for steel stock with Erlin of Long Island, Pennsylvania Steel Co., Sims Steel Corp., and Empire Metals USA. Extension of bid 24001 for fuel for resale at Town Marina with Sprague Operating Resources. Bond, $2,100,000 for drainage improvements, town parking lot north of Main Street between Bank Avenue and Landing Avenue. An extension of an agreement with Islip Resource Recovery Agency for the processing of the town's commingled recyclable material for a one-year term. Extension of bid 25025 for bearings, sprockets, chains, etc. with Lackle Equipment. Change orders 1 and 2 to bid 25024 with De Blasio Builders for contract 2 exterior alterations to an existing structure at Short Beach. Purchase of document scanning services from NYSID. Extension of bid 25011 for athletic field clay with Watrell Brothers. Appoint Robert E. Draffin Esquire as hearing officer with respect to a disciplinary hearing pursuant to Civil Service Law, Section 75, involving employee 005130. Approve the modification of Condition 1 of Marine Law Permit 2025-2 issued to the Suffolk County Department of Public Works for maintenance dredging of the Stony Brook Harbor boat channels to extend the date of completion of work to February 28, 2026. And approve the modification of condition number 1 of Marine Law Permit 2025-1 issued to the Suffolk County Department of Public Works for maintenance dredging of the boat channels in part of the Nisquogue River and adjacent area of the Long Island Sound to extend the date of completion of work to March 22nd, 2026.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Town Board to issue a written consistency determination pursuant to Chapter 151 of the Town Code that Coastal Consistency Review 2025-13 is consistent with the local waterfront revitalization plan. Issue a written consistency determination pursuant to Chapter 151 of the Town Code that Coastal Consistency Review 2025-17 is consistent with the LWRP. Issue a written consistency determination pursuant to Chapter 151 of the Town Code that Coastal Consistency Review 2025-19A, Amendment Number 2, Stony Brook Harbor dredging is consistent with the LWRP. Issue a written consistency determination pursuant to Chapter 151 of the Town Code that Coastal Consistency Review 2025-18A, Amendment Number 2, Nisquogue River dredging is consistent with the LWRP, all for reasons stated in memorandums from the Planning Director.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Authorize the supervisor to execute the following resolutions on a form approved by the town attorney. Grant application for Burwinkle Park renovation. Agreement with town employees permitting the voluntary transfer of vacation, personal and/or sick time to employee 001563 of the Parks Department. Software use waiver and disclaimer agreement with various townships granting permission to download, install, and use town software known as Over 65 Disability Limited Income Calculator for internal government purposes.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Town Board to approve settlement. Laura Bonaiuto versus Town of Smithtown and William Arteca versus Town of Smithtown.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Personnel matters A through U as they appear on the agenda.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack? Yes. Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes. Reconvene sitting as Board of Site Plan, we will vote on the site plans.
Minutes approval, February 3rd, 2026, and conditionally approve site plan for Mason Technologies Hop Hog and Insignia Steakhouse Smithtown as presented today by Liam Trotta.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarello?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes, that completes our agenda for this afternoon. And we have speakers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, before we start, public participation is subject to the rules of decorum, which you have on your speaker cards. That is Town Codes, Section 76.7. The public portion is for town-related matters only. Any unsubstantiated, unverified, or material false information will be interrupted. 3-minute rule will be strictly enforced. You have 3 minutes to make your statement. When you hear the tone, you have 1 minute remaining. Thank you.
Anita Castorina.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Anita Castorina, 3 Spruce Street, Smithtown. Thank you for having me. I want to say that I've lived in Kings Park, Smithtown, my entire life. My father was an immigrant. He built our house with his own hands, bricks and cement blocks, etc. And we lived on what he earned. You cried poverty before the last election and pointed fingers as to the need to raise our taxes by 10% and pierce the 2% cap as the only way to avert many layoffs. Now you have voted to add 3 people, including creating a position for Long Island Loud co-founder, what's his name, Kevin Smith, as a public information assistant. I think that's, I don't know what to say about that. I object to the hiring of all 3 new people. I remember the days when a problem stimulated people to think harder for ways to solve problems. But, you know, like beet juice for the roads. I don't know who came up with that idea, but that sounds great. Apparently, this board only seems to know how to solve problems by more hiring and raising taxes and rewarding themselves with a salary increase. Perhaps more effort needs to be placed on collecting overdue taxes from such, I don't know, I call them derelicts, I don't know, as the sand and gravel pit situation and possibly others. I imagine the central room at the senior center could be spruced up, but I think the seniors might prefer to spend the $500,000 you allocated for this in this year's budget to lower their taxes instead. The
1
good
minute remaining.
the good food now served there then possibly would even taste better without the bitter taste of increased taxes. So, 47 seconds. I suggest a board like the one, the Shoemaker on Main Street, positions in front of the business, advertising the board meetings, and date and times, because no one else seems to know when I speak to them about it. And that's it. Congratulations to the beet juice people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Maffey. I'm sorry? Elizabeth Maffey.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Elizabeth Mathey, 16 Old Road, Kings Park. I've been a resident here for 64 years. My parents moved here years ago. I have seen so much change and destruction in this town for development. And when is enough enough? When does the town board actually go with the majority of residents? I have been to many of these board meetings, and I can tell you that my neighbors and lots of surrounding people who are unaware of what is going on, because the town is only required to put 200 feet notices so people know. I went around with a petition. People that lived less than 5 minutes from my house didn't even know what was going on with the Raleigh property at Lawrence Road, Old Road, that whole property development, which used to be KP2, the new housing development. Honestly, it doesn't help anybody except the builders, okay? How much more building do we need, can we stand? I looked at the roads coming here today. We have so many potholes. It's disgusting. We have built so many developments. I have yet to see a single one of these developments bring in any kind of money to change our living arrangements. Our streets are still a mess. Traffic is horrible. Now you want to add almost 500 more cars? Are you crazy? You know what? I apologize. I'm just not happy with it. You built that thing across the street. How much of that is full? How much is vacant? But my real question is, when is the town board actually going to listen to its residents and the
1 minute
majority of
remaining.
residents? Okay, I mean, you're all here because we voted you in. You're not doing what I want. You're not doing what the whole neighborhood wants or the surrounding people. People who are living less than 5 minutes away from this property. You went and you actually slipped the vote for that PLR or whatever, the development, making it 288, planned residential development. You snuck it in on a meeting. We were supposed to have a meeting with 2 of the council people. Gosh, it never happened. You know what? You just voted it, you slipped it in, nobody knew you were doing it. Surprise! Newsday comes out and says, oh, town board passed it. Listen, I am so disgusted with this town. We pay high taxes. I'm struggling. Everybody's struggling. And you claim that all of this is bringing in income? It's not.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Your time is up.
No more speakers.
Okay. No more speakers. Nicole, are the gentlemen here? All right, we're gonna bring our Parks gentlemen in. They were delayed, but they're here. Gentlemen, we read the, what you did. We want to congratulate you both for what you did, and we commend you and keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks very much, guys. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. Okay, I will move to close.
Supervisor Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzerillo.
Yes.
Councilman Loman.
Yes. Okay, thank you. How many veterans do we have in here today?
Yeah. All right.
As an old Vietnam veteran, I want to thank you all for your service. Thank you very much. We have the town attorney and the tax assessor, Mr. Nacroto. They're going to stay here right now and answer any questions you may have on these exemptions. They are complicated. He'll answer any questions you can, but you can always make appointments as well to see him in his office, make a phone call. Now that the laws are passed, we want to make sure you get everything you deserve. So thank you all. God bless you. Have a great day.